The first time they took me for interrogation, they struck me so hard in my left eye that I couldn't see for a while. After the second day, I could see a little. I thought I'd gone blind in my left eye. I still have problems with it. It's never returned to normal. Their treatment of me, even though I was high-ranking in the Basij and had a long history of activity, I never expected to be spoken to in such a way, let alone insulted and sworn at, hit, kicked. They created execution scenarios. They said, "We're going to kill you and we'll link your death to the protests. We'll say that you were killed during a protest." There was a table. I stood on that table for some hours with my hands tied and a rope round my neck. They came a few times and said they'd come to execute me now, or in an hour. I was very worried. Then they came and pulled the table away. I fell. I thought I was saying goodbye to this world. You see your own disintegration. But when they pulled the table, the rope wasn't attached to anything. I fell backwards. I fainted. When I came to, I was wet. They'd thrown water over me. I vomited. They took my confession then, and I signed. None of it is believable to me. My friend who shared my cell created havoc. He'd never seen anything like this. Well, nor had I. He was in shock. He was confused. He lost control. He screamed and shouted, threw himself against the walls. The guards warned him that if he was going to continue with this behaviour, they'd make things worse for him. One of the guards came in and beat him. His face was bleeding. He tore his clothes off. The baton that he had, he was sexually violated with it. One guard was outside, one inside the cell. I wanted to protest, to shout, to help him, but well, I'd seen how they dealt with protesters, and I couldn't protest. I am thoroughly ashamed. I'm shamed before God, ashamed of my youth, ashamed in front of my friend, ashamed in front of the people. We're Muslims. Our religion is Islam. We recognise God. When you consider everything, in the end it was very different to all that they said. Those things were very far from Islam. Islam had become a curtain for them, from behind which they could do whatever they wanted. Directives were presented as the Islamic directives. Everything we say is Islam. You mustn't question Islam. There's the poem that says, "Human beings are members of a whole. My friend, the people, myself, you, others, we're all one. Any one person's pain can affect everyone, can disrupt calm." My pain is upset with myself, that I spent the best years of my life unaware, and they used this. I was a tool. I was a tool for them to reach their objectives. I unknowingly got involved in their plans. I was unknowingly led by them. Their slogan was that we were the force of the people, the eminent ones, that we must lead. We were unaware of what they brought on us. Our thoughts were not our own. You see, it's ordinary people who join the Basij. They enter the organisation with their own free will because, as I said, it's an organisation of the people. People join of their own will, and their activities with the Basij are driven by their own desire out of love. In Iran today, it's genuinely hard to find work. It's hard to get into university. It's every young person's wish to enter university and continue his education, to have a good life, to find a good job, to have a wife, a house, a car. These were all things that they gave us with various methods. We felt good. We had a certain satisfaction. We noticed the differences. When I looked at my friends, they didn't have the car I had, the job I had, the further education I had, that had come to me so easily. I think these were things that they wanted to give us to trap us, so that we would be under their thumb. I think that's exactly it. We would do whatever they told us. We grew up with this idea. I joined the Basij at an age that I was like putty that could be moulded. We grew up with these ideas. They gave us character. I believe that there are people who are now full of regret, who are not able to express this regret, and they're not able to leave the organisation.